Hello, and welcome to Luna's Literary Corner. On this channel, I talk about books, grammar, and other literary avenues. Today, I will be recapping the books that I read in March. Hitting a Straight Lick with a Crooked Stick is a collection of short stories by Zora Neale Hurston. While I won't speak on it too much because I have another video coming out that covers my entire thoughts on this more in depth, I will say that while I was excited about this, I was slightly disappointed by it. I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars. Two Can Keep a Secret. This young adult book follows two twins as they uncover the secrets in the town of Echo Ridge. Echo Ridge is the town that their mother lived in when she was younger. I was really excited to read this after reading Karen McManus's first book, One of Us is Lying, and I was kind of disappointed. Overall, the characters and plot were fine. I just didn't have the same emotional connection to this as I did with One of Us is Lying. There's also a good chunk of time in the middle of the book where it just kind of drags. However, this picks up at the end once more truths are revealed. The ending was very satisfying compared to most of the book, where it again had kind of a slow, dragging pace. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. Hateless follows Valerie Lefman, whose boyfriend committed a school shooting the year before. This was my second time reading this. I first read it when I was in high school in 10th grade. I was just going through the shelves randomly and I decided to pick this out, and I actually liked it and I wanted to reread it to see would I like this again. The author does an amazing job in creating a sympathetic character that is not perfect. One of the key points of this book is that the school shootings were based on a hate list that Valerie and her boyfriend created. You feel for this character who, in the aftermath of a school shooting orchestrated by her boyfriend, is seen as both victim and villain. There were times reading this where I felt like I was punched in the chest with all of the feelings. Whenever these emotional moments happened, they were impactful because of how detached the main character feels at times. So when these emotional moments are happening, it feels even more profound than any in another situation. I won't spoil the ending, but it left me the most frustrated I have ever been when reading a book. This was a similar reaction I had when I first read it. Overall, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. Strange Planet is a collection of comics that covers a full cycle of the planet's inhabitants. I thoroughly enjoyed these comics. I've always kind of read them on Instagram, and I got a lot of laughs from them. I would definitely recommend this to anyone who truly wants to understand humans and their ways. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. Bingo Love tells the story of a same-sex romance that spans over 60 years. I recently got into more comics and graphic novels, and this was a book that showed up on a few different lists, specifically dealing with LGBTQ plus romance, as well as featuring people of color. This was a very beautiful story, and it was at times heartbreaking. There were some places where the story didn't fully work, but overall it did give a good job in showing a realistic portrayal of this romance in the different time periods it covers. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I picked this one at random because it was one of the few manga I found at a library I went to. For a book that follows a girl who can turn into a kaiju when she has strong emotions, it was okay. Most of the time while reading this, I was frustrated with how obvious some things were and how no one was realizing it. Overall, I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. This manga is about a stay-at-home dad who meets his dead brother's husband for the first time. The main character has to battle with the traditional ideas he was taught about homosexuality and connecting with the last link to his twin brother. I really enjoyed this manga. Usually whenever I read manga, it's mostly action-based with a lot of fighting with powers. This was a nice change of pace. I loved reading how the main character develops, and I can't wait to read the second volume. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. Tokyo Mew Mew follows 5 girls who have been injected with the DNA of endangered animals as they battle aliens. I originally saw the 4Kids TV version of this, and I fell in love with it when I was younger. Reading it now, I didn't realize how cheesy it could be. However, when I'm reading this, since it is the Japanese iteration of this, universe, I'm always intrigued by the names of the characters when compared to what I was used to. For example, the main character, Ichigo, yeah, her name in the English 4Kids TV version is Zoe. So, yeah, that's always fun to get used to. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars for both volumes. The Princess Saves Herself in this one is a collection of poetry that looks at the evolution of this narrator and the life that she goes through. I needed to choose a collection of poetry for my reading challenge, and I randomly chose some when I was working at the library. And while this wasn't the one I chose specifically for the challenge, I decided to read it anyway, and I am glad I did. This book of poetry was very beautiful and powerful. The journey the writer takes us through is well done because of the imagery and the comparisons she uses throughout. Even when it gets really personal, the writer does it in a way that makes it a shared experience. I really love this, and I will be on the lookout for more poetry by her. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Okay everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm always interested in learning more about other people's thoughts on books and authors, so if you have read any of the books that I read in March, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Bye and have a wonderful day.